Gopi Chana Vallabha Girivaradhare Gopi Chana Vallabha Girivaradhare Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachare Yamuna Tira Vanachare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare Gopi Chana Vallabha Girivaradhare Gopi Chana Vallabha Girivaradhare Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachare 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 Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare Shri Radha Madhava ki Jai. Krishna. So, wir haben uns für einen Vers aus dem 10. Kanto entschieden. We decided for a verse from the 10th Canto. So it's really okay if we speak German.
Ich denke, wir sprechen nur Deutsch und kein Englisch. Hand hoch, 2 Leute. Only speaks English and no German? Yeah, so I think we speak in English.
So we speak in English, okay. It is chapter 3, verse 21 from Canto 10. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tvam asya lokasya viporirakshishur. Tvam asya lokasya viporirakshishur. Grihe vatirnosi mamaghileshvara. Grihe vatirnosi mamaghileshvara. Rajanya sangya surakoti yutabhair. Rajanya sangya surakoti yutabhair. Nirvyuyamana nihanishyase chamuhu.
Nirvyuyamana nihanishyase chamu.
Nirvyuyamana nihanishyase chamuhu.
Nirvyuyamana nihanishyase chamu.
Tvam asya lokasya viporirakshishur.
Tvam asya lokasya viporirakshishur.
Grihe vatirnosi mamakhileshvara.
Grihe vatirnosi mamakhileshvara.
Rajanya sangya surakoti yutabhair.
Rajanya sangya surakoti yutabhair.
Nirvyuyamana nihanishyase chamuhu.
Nirvyuyamana nihanishyase chamu.
Tvam asya lokasya viporirakshishur.
Grihe vatirnosi mamakhileshvara. Rajanya sangya surakoti yutabhai. Nirvyuyamana nihanishyase chamuhu.
Tvam asya lokasya viporirakshishur.
Virakshishur.
Grihe vatirnosi mamakhileshvara. Rajanya sangya surakoti yutabhair.
Nirvyuyamana nihanishyase chamuhu.
Tvam asya lokasya viporirakshishur. Grihe vatirnosi mamakhileshvara. Rajanya sangya surakoti yutabhair. Nirvyuyamana nihanishyase chamuhu.
Mataji's?
Tvam, your lordship, asya, of this world, lokasya, especially of this martya loka, the planet Earth, Vipo, O Supreme, Rirakshisuhu, desiring protection from the disturbance of the asuras, Grihe, in this house, Avatirnaha asi, have now appeared, Mama, my, Akhila Ishvara, although you are the proprietor of the entire creation, Rajanya Sangya Asura Koti Yuta Paihi, with millions of demons and their followers, in the roles of politicians and kings, Nirvyu Yamanaha, which are moving here and there all over the world. Nihanishyase, will kill. Chamuhu, the armies, paraphernalia, soldiers and retinues. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. O my Lord, proprietor of all creation, you have now appeared in my house, desiring to protect this world. I am sure that you will kill all the armies that are moving all over the world under the leadership of politicians who are dressed as Kshatriya rulers, but who are factually demons. They must be killed by you for the protection of the innocent public. Purport. Krishna appears in this world for two purposes. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam, to protect the innocent religious devotees of the Lord and to annihilate all the uneducated, uncultured asuras who unnecessarily bark like dogs and fight among themselves for political power. It is said, Kali Kale Namarupe Krishna Avatara. The Hare Krishna movement is also an incarnation of Krishna in the form of the holy name, Namarupe. Every one of us who is actually afraid of the Asuric rulers and politicians must welcome this incarnation of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then we will surely be protected from the harassment of Asuric rulers. At the present moment, these rulers are so powerful that by hook or by crook, they capture the highest posts in government and harass countless numbers of people on the plea of national security or some emergency. Then again, one Asura defeats another Asura, but the public continues to suffer. Therefore, the entire world is in a precarious condition, and the only hope is this Hare Krishna movement. Lord Narasimhadev appeared when Prahlad was excessively harassed by his Asuric father. Because of such Asuric fathers, that is the ruling politicians, it is very difficult to press forward the Hare Krishna movement. But because Krishna has now appeared in his holy name through this movement, we can hope that these Asuric fathers will be annihilated and the kingdom of God established all over the world. The entire world is now full of many asuras in the guise of politicians, gurus, sadhus, yogis, and incarnations, and they are misleading the general public away from Krishna consciousness, which can offer true benefit to human society. Nochmal der Vers. Tvam asya lokasya vipore rakshishur kriyevatirnosi mama kileshvara rachanya sangya sura koti yutapair nirvyu yamana nihanishyase chamuhu. O my Lord, proprietor of all creation, you have now appeared in my house, desiring to protect this world. I am sure that you will kill all the armies that are moving all over the world under the leadership of politicians who are dressed as Kshatriya rulers, but who are factually demons. They must be killed by you for the protection of the innocent public. Om Ajnanati Mirandasya Gyananshana Shalakaya Chakshuru Chaitanya Manopishtam Stapitam Yena Putale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Tadadi Swapadandikam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So we were put into this position today with the to say the order or the instruction or the to speak about the appearance of Krishna in our life. How does Krishna appear in our life? And we have just now started this session in a very appropriate way with a intense kirtan, unusual intense kirtan, and this is recommended. Here in the verse it is said that this is the only hope in this time we are living in, to get rid of the asuric influences which are very strong in this age, especially because they are in the demonic influences are are present in the leadership of the human society nowadays. So we have to chant very ecstatically and intensely the holy name and experience Krishna. Really, that Krishna consciousness, Krishna is a fact. Krishna is not the imagination, a fairy tale, a dream. His pastimes are not fairy tales. The fairy tales, they got their inspiration to be written because of these wonderful pastimes of Krishna and the Vedic. But the Vedic stories, they are real, and Krishna is real, and the fairy tales we know, they are like nonsense, waste of time to read these things. So even more intense it is when you bring this kirtan, which we have experienced now, outside to this completely covered people, covered by Maya. Maya has two energies. Once she is covering, and then she is putting down. And this purport is very strong, and it refers especially, of course, to Narasimhadev, so very appropriate today, have such a powerful, strong purport referring to Narasimhadev. And it remembers me on one occasion in my spiritual life when Narasimhadev appeared after I have a kind of lost my remembrance and understanding of where I am actually in my spiritual life. After some quite intense time of Sankirtan, most of the time with Gour Mohan Prabhu, it was in one marathon, one Christmas marathon, one Prabhupada marathon, and suddenly the devotees here in Simhachalam, they had to see that I disappeared. From one day after another, I was not there anymore.
We were looking in the forest.
Even they were looking in the forest. They were so afraid. They saw some animals. They saw some blood on the floor. And oh my God, did you see something? Yeah, we saw some blood. Oh my God, what happened to Kripa Sindhu? So no one knew where I am. And what happened to me actually was I just took a bus in the middle of the night and went to the train station. With the train station, just went to my home. And I didn't know what happened to me. I didn't know what happened to my mind. I was just completely finished. I didn't understand what's going on with me. And after some time, I talked to other Sankirtan devotees, experienced Sankirtan devotees who for many, many years did this service. And I expressed them my situation, and he just was smiling and said to me, 1 year. And I was, what do you mean with 1 year? In my case, it was 1 year. I was in that situation. Sankirtan devotees, they have this tendency, they are so in ecstasy, they are so in this mood of doing this service even more intense and more intense. It must be more books, it must be more hours on the street, more and more and more, that at a certain point the mind says, too much for me. The mind says, you're not listening to me, but it's too much for me. And then the mind suddenly is finito. And then something like that happens. A Sankirtan devotee just disappears, lays down in a bed for days, maybe for weeks, and he doesn't know what's happening to him. So something similar like this happened to me. I went to my home with the attitude or with the understanding that now everything is finished. I don't know where, maybe I have committed some offense. I don't know what's happening to me, but I just went back to home. And I did all this journey in the middle of the night. One devotee saw me at the train station and he said to the devotees, I saw him in the middle of the night. He went with a bus somewhere. Oh, really? Oh my God. So rumors came up. No one knew. So, but I just was really done. And I went home all the way and I didn't think at all about the devotees, about Krishna. I didn't know how my life will continue. I didn't know whether I will somehow or other continue in Krishna consciousness or whatever happens to me. I didn't know. But when I entered into the room in my home, in this completely finished situation, I looked around the corner and I looked on the shelf and suddenly, Narasimhadev. There he was again. In the mood of like, you tried to escape from me, you tried to drive so far away from me, but here I am again. I don't forget you, here I am. So wherever you will go, I will be there. Ito nrsimha parato nrsimha. Yato yato yamitato nrsimha. Everywhere is Narasimhadev. And he takes care of his devotees. So that was one very nice occasion in my spiritual life. I had to nicely experience that, Krishna appeared, Narasimhadev appeared out of a sudden. And he shows me he is always present. And after this time, I had to say, it was not a mistake to a little overdo it. It was not a mistake. It was the best thing I could have done in my young years. In my young years, where health is no problem, where where you don't have any problems, because Krishna takes all the problems away from you. And just fully go into this service. Give everything, even a little bit overdoing it. The mind may then say, it's a little problematic for me, but who cares? Do it for Krishna, it's all right. Krishna will help you. And that is one occasion in my spiritual life I had to wonderfully experience the appearance of Lord Narasimhadev. And still he is residing there, and still I am allowed to be here in the association of devotees, and still I am allowed to be on the street and give Krishna consciousness to others in form of these amazing books, because Krishna especially appeared, we know, in this movement, and this movement is based on these books, not different from Krishna book, not different from Krishna, and it is a wonderful opportunity for us to connect, to make progress in spiritual life by going out and distributing these books. No one is unable to do it. It's possible for everyone, as Prabhupada says, in connection with kirtan and chanting as we did now. You see, even a child can take part in it. It is so nice. And it refers as well to book distribution. You know? Even a child can take part in it. You know? Charu is ecstatically going on book distribution in Pasa with us, distributing 20 books nearly last time.
Wow.
And he didn't want to stop. And just when we come back here, is asking when will we go again on Sankirtan. You know? So even a child can take part in it. It's very, very wonderful. So therefore, and this, I would like to Gour Mohan to speak a little bit about his experience in spiritual life. Maybe also a Sankirtan pastime we had maybe together. You can
Omagyan Timidandasya Janmashtami Chakshuromri Tamjina Tasmashi Gravina Namam Vishnavadaya Krishna Vishtavati Shimati Kanabakana Samati Namni Namam Vishnavadaya Krishna Vishtavati Gurudasya Dvaita Samati Namni Namam Vishnavadaya Krishna Vishtavati Shimati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namni Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nivishisa Sunjavadi Paskachari Deshatharini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sri Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you very much. And please bless me that I can speak on the glories of Lord Krishna. So the first thing is that Krishna, I'm taking a big round and coming back to the Sankirtan. Today is Krishna Janmashtami, and on this appearance day, it means that Lord Krishna is become visible to the eyes of everybody. Even fools and rascals. Do you know a big fool and rascal in Krishna's pastime who has seen Krishna? Some names? Kamsa, yeah, more? Somebody else? Shishupal, yes. Who else? Who tried to be like Krishna? Who remembers his name? Yeah, Pandraka. It was funny, it's actually said in the Bhagavatam he was gluing or putting second and fourth arms on his shoulders. And he was telling, he actually he sent a messenger to the assembly hall in Dwarka and said, "Oh Krishna, you are foolishly claiming that you're Supreme Personality of Godhead, but just see, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I give you the opportunity to surrender now, or I will come and destroy you." And everybody in the assembly hall had a good laugh, you know, like, what is this guy, you know, with secluded arms there, you know, telling us that we should surrender. And Krishna came and then dealt with the business. He was finished because he challenged Krishna. And but the interesting thing is that fact that actually at this time anybody can see Krishna, even though we might not be qualified. And in a similar way, we have now Krishna is here visible to all of us. Krishna in the form of his Shri Vigraha and his Murti, Shri Radhika Giridhari. And he is so visible that we can almost miss it. It's like almost too simple to miss it. And we see so many pictures of Krishna, and but especially in the Murti, because he's being worshipped by the devotees. Therefore, the material energy becomes spiritual. So he's present, but only if we have the eyes to see him, we will actually see him. We will actually, similar way also if we read the Bhagavad Gita, we need to have some qualification, some adhikar, to actually to be able to see him. So that means we need to purify our hearts, we need to purify our vision. Like if you take photos, maybe you experience if the lens is dirty, then you must clean it, so that you have a clear vision. In a similar way, our hearts and our eyes need to be purified so that we can see directly Sri Radha Krishna. And this happens by service to Guru and Gauranga, to be continuously endeavoring to do more and more for Krishna. And then we will actually be standing there and chanting and have kirtan, and you actually feel Krishna is there. He's playing on the flute. You hear the flute. No? You can actually experience Lord Krishna, but only if you're actually able to perceive and have the adhikar that you have done some service. You see, after Sankirtan or after any intense service that you did, after lots of cooking from Janmashtami, hopefully we'll see today 108 preparations manifest from the kitchen, an ocean. You know, see that afterwards you're really finished, but then you actually have really this taste in the evening from 9 p.m. until 12 p.m. That's like the hardest time because usually we're sleeping, and then we continue chanting, we're all fasting. It's like, the last few hours we're counting. And then, but you can cherish Krishna. It becomes so nice, you don't want to stop. You want to continue to Mangal Arati. Because it's so nice. So Krishna, to see Krishna, we need to be qualified. And what actually happens in the appearance day of Lord Krishna is that Krishna, it's said, the pastimes of Lord Krishna are always happening, always ongoing, and they're beyond this world. So it's like we have here also the door, it's opening, and Radha Krishna have always been behind the door. Behind the curtain, always the Leela has been happening. Sri Vrindavan pastimes have happened, have been experienced by the devotees, but just we, in this material world, the curtain is opening, we get a glimpse, and then the world shines onto this world. So this is actually what is happening when Krishna appears in this world. We just get a glimpse of what is happening in the spiritual world. So the curtains are being opened, and we can peek in. We can see like, wow. And this is what the Bhagavatam describes it in the 10th canto, the pastimes of Lord Krishna, where he's playing with his friends, where he's killing the demons, where he's doing all these amazing things. But this is only happening because we see the mercy of Lord Krishna, that he has unfolded this in this age. So, but if we look too much at Maya, if we are too distracted, too many other things, this and that, we cannot see Krishna. So we must be focused. It says, Ekeha Kurunandana. If we want to do something for Krishna, if we want to approach him in an appropriate way, we must be single-minded, and our vision only must be Krishna and nothing else. And everything else blurs out, and then the heart becomes so pure that we can see Krishna very, very clearly and very distinct. And we might see him in different ways. Some see him in chanting, when they chant Hare Krishna, when they read Srila Prabhupada's books, when they do service, when they go on book distribution, or in any different way, we can see and perceive Krishna in our lives. So, can we make Krishna appear? So there are some who tried to make Krishna appear. And some were successful, some were not. But who knows of a person who made Krishna appear? Bhaktadin? Kennst du jemanden, der Krishna erscheinen hat lassen? Ja, aber so he made him appear, so it actually appeared in this world. Bhakta Lukas? Narada Muni? In welcher Form? Vishnu. Er hat auch zu Vishnu gebetet, dass er kommt. Ja, okay. Subal Gopal? Advaita Acharya, genau. Advaita Acharya hat den Shalagram Shila verehrt. So Advaita Acharya worshipped the Shalagram Shila, and it was, my spiritual master says it was a conspiracy. Actually, they talked together. Wow, we're gonna force Krishna to appear. With Haridas Thakur, they read the verse in the Bhagavatam, and it said that if you offer a leaf of tulasi and Ganges water every day, I become so obliged, I need to fulfill any of your desires. So every day he was worshipping with Ganges water, the Shalagram Shila and tulasi leaves, and they were chanting. Haridas Thakur was chanting so many rounds. Also Haridas Thakur was many things, only Advaita Acharya, but also was Haridas Thakur, both of them. They were there and they were praying, please, come. And then he came as Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. So he came. So it was a conspiracy. They're really like, okay, we're going to force Krishna to appear. Now, of course, yes, Srila Prabhupada also made Krishna appear. He made him appear in all of our lives. Actually, without Srila Prabhupada, we would not have Krishna in our lives. So we can make Krishna appear in different ways. Now, many of us probably were suffering before we came to Krishna consciousness, having some little trouble, some anxiety, some surge, some yearning for something. That in the end, we called for Krishna, please come. We didn't know the name of Krishna, but just we were hankering for something. And then Krishna just came to our lives. And this enriched our lives. It gave us so much pleasure and happiness. So in a similar way also for Srila Prabhupada, especially Jagannath appeared. Jagannath appeared in a very, very sweet form. It said that, I read the book of Govinda Dasi, she was recently here, and she said that when she came one day to Srila Prabhupada's room, and he said, he has come. He has come. It's like, what he has come? She didn't understand, like, just look on the table, he has come. So somehow or other, devotees very mysteriously brought a Jagannath deity out of wood, this size. And he said, he was so ecstatic, Krishna has come, Jagannath has come, he has come. And then he asked, are there more other deities? And then they found Subhadra and Baladev. And he was so ecstatic that Jagannath, Krishna has come finally, And then they made big murtis out of it, the big first deities they had in ISKCON. And Prabhupada was so excited because it was his childhood deity. Like, we are worshipping Nrsingadev here. And then also when Kripa Sindhu went back to his home, we heard, he was ecstatic to see like, oh, Nrsingadev is still there, following, caring about me. So you see, Prabhupada went all the way to the West. Nobody knew about Krishna or anything. And then he sits there and suddenly one of his followers who don't really know anything, but they're still like all little hippies and spaced out, they suddenly bring like, oh, I found this in the shop. What is this? It looks like Indian. So I brought a small Jagannath. It's like, that's Jagannath. And Prabhupada immediately paid obeisances. And it was his childhood deity. And since his childhood, when he was in Charu's age, he went to the neighbors and asked if they can help him to make a Ratha Yatra. He was making with them a Ratha Yatra. So nice, huh? Just imagine going to your neighbors and saying, hello, can you help me making Ratha Yatra? Then you make a Ratha Yatra. And he was really, and then he had the dream always to go to Jagannath Puri. And his father brought him to Jagannath Puri. And he saw the real Jagannath. He was amazed. It was a big, for Prabhupada, it was very, very amazing. And very personal. And then suddenly Jagannath appears on the table. He was so touched that Jagannath has come. And actually, if you see in a neutral way, Jagannath before used to only go through one street in Jagannath Puri. Now he goes to almost all cities of the whole world. There's so many cities he's going through and making Ratha Yatras. We have in Vienna, in Munich, in Hamburg, in Leipzig, in Cologne, in Prague, in London, in New York, Los Angeles. Los Angeles and New York, there's still around 5,000 to 10,000 people attending the Ratha Yatra. It's big. It's happening. It's all over the world. Tokyo, everywhere is Ratha Yatra. Even Dubai, Muslim countries, they don't know. They just, because it's illegal to worship an idol there, but somehow they trick the government. Psst, don't listen. they rent a big sports hall, and then they make inside the sports hall, they go in circles. Because they're so ecstatic, they just want to pull Jagannath through the streets. So that's amazing that Prabhupada has revolutionized and brought Krishna not only to one place, but actually to all the cities of the whole world. And we can see that also in our lives he has appeared. And he's appearing, especially when, for me personally, it's when I'm in Kirtan or when I'm chanting japa, but especially personally it's like in Kirtan, bhajan or Kirtan, and you're just singing and chanting. And it feels like you're calling, Krishna, where are you? Krishna, where are you? Please come, please come. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And Krishna comes, and it's like penetrating your heart, going through all the cracks of your maya and touching a little bit your heart, and you feel like, that's actually what I really want. No, all this nonsense, fire of material existence, that's not what I want. The only thing what I want is you, Krishna. And you make me addicted to your lotus feet. They're so sweet. Your name is so sweet. Your qualities are so sweet. Please, let me taste some more of that. And you chant more. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You chant more because you're yearning to serve the Lord, to be united with Him, to be together. And this is the appearance day of Lord Krishna. We're chanting the whole day, we're hearing about Him, we're remembering Him, and we're chanting more, and then actually we're feeling Krishna appearing in the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So in my life, we went together with Kripa Sindhu in Sankirtan, and it was a very nice, sweet experience. It was my first van, and I had, for 2 years, my driver's license. And you can imagine, I was driving very wild. I thought I was very sattvic, but actually it was very wild. And just to put it in perspective, it was winter, it was snowing a little bit, and we were going through the small streets of Austria, you remember? And it was going downhill to some city, and we didn't know the road, so it was snowing a little bit, so I thought, it's okay. And then we drove, and I wanted to take the curve, but the car didn't take the curve, just continued going straight. I was like we didn't see the end, it just thought there's an edge, and it's finish. So we just driving, and then Kripa Sindhu was holding on, Krishna, holding, what's happening, and it really went down, boom, and then the car was sliding towards the forest, and somewhere I was praying, please, at least, go past, but don't directly into the woods. It would really hurt a lot, so let's go past by And then we went the hill that was really steep, like you can imagine Bauer Weiss, the hill. There from the top of this, our hill, all the way down we went actually. It was a really long way. And somehow we went all the way down, boom, and then we stopped. And it's like, nothing happened. It was really just before we were heading, there was a little river there, and there was also some trees. So we were heading very close to it, very close, and just like 2 meters before it, we stopped. I don't know, I don't know how, but the van just stopped, and it was like, oh Krishna, everything's safe. Kripa, Sindhu, are you alive? And I said, Hare Krishna. Then we looked, okay, we need somebody to pull us out somehow. So we asked the farmer. We found a farmer. It's like, can you pull us out? And then I hope the van is still working. We went the whole way down, and then it's like, so yeah, many cars, they go down, but usually the cars is broken or completely and also they're injured, but nothing happened to you guys. How did you survive? You have such a big car, van full of books. We just loaded the books full here, it was heavy. So, and then he pulled us out with the tractor, and I turned on the car, it's working perfectly, no problem. We continued driving. So Krishna protected us. So it was amazing. So we did many crazy things together. And one of the things is I heard that before, like many years ago, devotees used to go to music festivals to distribute books. So I thought, like, let's try out something new, always on the street, let's be creative. Let's go out and experience Krishna on the streets. So that's, when you do something new, it's like, it's kribbelt, we say in German. It's prickly in your fingers. It's like exciting, what's happening? So we went to this parking lot, and a big festival, and it was a festival because it used to be here in the area, but it moved a little further away. Now it doesn't exist anymore, but we thought, okay, I know this kind of festival, so let us just try it out. So we went to the parking lot, and there were all these crazy people, drunken, and I've never done any of these crazy things. I thought, what are these guys doing? So anyways, so we went there, and I thought, like, let's try to just distribute books. That's what we always do. So I thought, let's be on sadhana. We always went out 10 o'clock straight. So we went 10 o'clock on the streets and on the parking lot where all the tents were and everybody. But everybody was still sleeping. Because usually party late into the night, and they're sleeping until 11 o'clock, and then they come out, shower, or they don't shower. I don't know what they do. And then at 12 o'clock around, they become a little awake. So then we took just another break, and then we started at 12 o'clock, and then we distributed books, and it's like, how is it going? I was like, yeah, I don't know, they're taking all books, it's amazing. So we did until 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, and it was like, and then we did, I don't know, we did like 50, 80 books, each one of us. Something like Bhagavad Gitas, only Bhagavad Gitas I had back then, 80 Bhagavad Gitas. And then, and it was like, but they're becoming a little crazy, it's becoming a little spooky, They're taking the books and they're all becoming drunken, and then they do all funny things. And then it's like, let's do Harinam. It's like, yeah, let's do Harinam. So we took this accordion, I had accordion with me, I just learned, some devotee showed me the accordion, and Kripa Sindhu had the mridanga. So it was only two of us, or we were three. Two.
I don't remember exactly, but one thing I remember is that it was also you who said before this that you want to make Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appear. Because you were asking before, do you remember anyone who made Krishna appear? And it was you. Before we did the Harinam, I said, we can do it. If we really are serious, like Narottam Das Thakur, he made the Panchatattva appear with his ecstatic kirtan, and we can also do it. And with this determination, you started this kirtan. You said we make Harinam now. Okay, let's go. Let's do Harinam with this intention. Now we want to make Krishna appear today here in this horrible Kali Yuga place. Then we started the Harinam, and now we can continue.
Yeah, it was really amazing. And then we went into the because I didn't know how they're gonna react. Just some two guys, only two of us, not a big Harinam group, two of us going there, Hare Krishna. And then we went in there, Hare Krishna, and then they started like, oh, you're nice guys. And then they started to react positive, and they're like, let's dance along. And then one guy said, hey, you're so crazy, you're amazing. You come with me to our friends, They went to a certain tent, and then we went to this tent, and then they were like, wow, you're so cool. And they all started dancing. They had an old sofa there, and they started to dance, and then went really wild, and was like, it's happening. Come on, come to my friends. You know, I know some other people that are also cool. And then we went to the other friends. We were already like 20 or 30 people, like 2 devotees and 30 karmis dancing around us. They were more than us, you know. They were more ecstatic than us. They were like, wow, that's so cool. Let's bring us to our real friends. And then we went from one place to the other, and then we gathered more and more people until we were like 120 or 150. And we were chanting and chanting and chanting. It was like going nuts. And then we had like a second festival stage, you know, because usually you have the big group where everybody's going, but inside the camping ground, we all started to dance and they started to jump on the sofas, jump off the sofas, and they were like really going crazy. And it was like we couldn't stop, and I wanted to stop, like it's getting too much, but then it just continued. And it was, as Kripa Sindhu said, somehow or other we remember always this festival. This first festival we went there, it was like, because it was such a momentum, it caught and everybody started to sing and chant and because it came out of hand. Usually you always go and you ask them to sing. But this time they were asking us to sing. They wanted us to sing, and then we were just chanting and chanting.
And the funny thing at that was I observed that when we came with all these new people to another tent or something, then the new people who didn't know us, they were talking to the other hippies in there and said, hey, what's this? And then those who were already singing, they said, we don't know. It's Hare Krishna. Come with us anyway. It's Hare Krishna. What? Okay, let's come. Hare Krishna. That's how they started to preach to the others. We don't know. It's Hare Krishna. Let's go. And in this way, it was like a fire. You know, the fire spread like in all directions. We couldn't stop it anymore. And they were all participating, and it was like Navadvip. For me, it was like, I was only once or twice maybe at that time in India, Mayapur, Navadvip, but for me this area became like a holy pilgrimage, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace. It was for me. It was very cool. All of them.
we made Harinam appear for those people, and it's the power of the holy name. It's not us, because on another festival, I don't know, I think I was with you. We went out, and somehow or other the mridanga broke on the way, so we just had kartals. And I thought, like, usually you have some beat that you want to have, you know, it makes the rhythm, people dance and move a little bit. But at this festival, we were like praying, like, we don't know how we're going to do the Harinam afterwards. We just kind of distribute books and then like what? So we still went out and we just had the kartals and we started singing. And then still the people started dancing like crazy. We still had 40, 50 people around us. And I don't know how or why. It's just, they liked it. They liked the holy name. And then they took buckets and they started to drum on the buckets or something, you know. But they were more enthusiastic than us. It was some, you were there?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so but that was for me a proof that it's not us who's making them dance. It's the holy name, and the holy name doesn't need anything else but just a sincere desire to chant and dance, because we are so convinced, we are so happy chanting that it becomes infectious. Because in music festivals usually you don't see, like, they don't care how you dress, how you come. They're all like a little messy and a little crazy, and then these people are funny, they're having fun, so let's have fun also. They're there to have fun, so they want to join, and then they see, even though we don't only have kartas, they were just dancing along and singing. That was really nice. And the more magical thing that really became, then we started next year we started to look like Vedasara Prabhu and Dean Prabhu. They have been doing festivals. We started to do festival hopping. We went from one festival to the next, and the people started to know us. You know, it's like, oh, the Hare Krishnas, I told my friend about you guys, they didn't believe me you exist, but I show you, here you exist, come. It's like, okay. And then they took selfies. Yeah, look, I know, I met you guys, the Hare Krishna are so crazy, and I met you from here, and I met you there. So then the whole generation started to know us. And then we went to a Kimse Reggae Festival. It's a festival where around 50,000 people coming. Just imagine the scope of 50,000 young people who are ready like to experience something new. So we went there, but the weather was kind of rainy, so it was muddy, and if it becomes muddy, 50,000 people walk through the mud to the fields, it becomes very muddy. So we went through the mud, and somehow Kripa Sindhu brought his Gorni ties. And Sanjay, you had him on your head. Sanjay had him on the head, and they were dancing, and that was amazing, Kimse Reggae Festival. Can you say something more about it?
Yeah, I remember. Yes, I can say something about that, because that was that time when I was playing Mridanga and you were completely ecstatic, and the people were looking in Mohan's eyes, and then they were looking at me and said, "What did he take?" He was saying, "Hare Krishna." Wow, what's this? You know. And then suddenly one person came with his beer bottles. You know, I was playing Mridanga and he came to me. And afterwards, Gorman said he did Abhishek with Kripa Sindhu. He put the beer would appear, and he put it upon me, and I just stood there and said, okay, I just continued chanting. Just continued, and he did an abhishek with the beer. But anyway, we continued, and it was fun.
So Kriti, I get that's a Kriti, you know, they're still worshipping a devotee.
It was nice, yes.
And then, yeah, and I remember one person, we started to sing, and actually the sun was setting, it was very beautiful, and a rainbow came. And everyone was like, wow, that's magical. And then we started to sing Hare Krishna, and then one guy came and said like, you guys, you're crazy. What are you doing to me? I don't know what's happening to me. He was crying. He was really like, having ecstatic symptoms. He was crying and was shaking like, what are you doing? What is this? It's making me crazy. And he went to Advaita Simha. Advaita Simha needed to pacify him. It's all good. It's something nice. It's a holy name. You're experiencing some love of God. It's too nice. I want more. Don't stop. Please. Give me more. It's so nice. It's the holy name. It's like, wow, take this book, and they gave him some prasadam, and they were holding his hand. It's all happening, and then still many people were around us, and it was like, what are you guys doing here? And it was really nice. The whole mood was really magic, and we were chanting and chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I was having the waves and touching the people.
Nice. Yeah, I remember one thing also where I could observe that Krishna appears in you, and it was you, me, and Advaita Simha. We were traveling together in marathon, and I was really the observer at that time. I got the special mercy from Krishna, because we went, it was the 24th, December 24th, Christmas Day, and we were in Innsbruck, and it was in the evening. Before this we were in Munich, that was not so good, and then we decided, okay, let's go to Innsbruck, and it was already dark, something like that, and we arrived there, and we were three. And immediately you started to pack the trolley and everything, and out of the van and go to the train station, and it just was so fast. Everything was so fast. It was so and I just stood back in the van and washed the pots. So I washed the pots, and after some time, you and Advaita Simha came back with real big eyes. You know, wow, it's so ecstatic! All of them taking books. All the books are gone. Everything. I was there with the pots. You know, super. Hare Krishna, wonderful mercy. Thank you, Krishna. That is a cleaning. You know, cleaning of the heart. Get rid of envy. You know, they're completely ecstatic. So Krishna, Peter, and then later someday we went again there to the train station, and I observed how you were distributing. You were on the underground in front of the bakery, where all the people are coming and want to buy their bread and so on, and distributing one Bhagavad Gita after another. And afterwards I was asking you, can you tell me, how do you do that, you know? I'm standing there all the day distributing 10 books, 15 books, 10 books, you know, one Bhagavad Gita after another in front of the bakery, you know, every policeman can come every moment, no one is coming, you know, how do you do that? You know, I want to also do that. And Gurman said to me, I do nothing. I don't do anything. It's Krishna. So Krishna is allowing, Krishna is arranging, Krishna is taking those who are qualified, and he's using in the position to give the mercy and do big. And I just read it recently in Transcendental Diary also. Prabhupada is confirming that everything is Krishna is arranging. Krishna, if you are qualified, Krishna is in the heart of every person, of every devotee. And if he sees that a person is qualified, Krishna is managing. You know, for example, universities. You know, universities were so big, so good. You distribute one marathon. You did only universities. You made a plan. Monday this university, Tuesday this university, and after the time I also thought it's going so well at universities. You know, and I thought, why am I not doing this? You know, why am I suffering in the shopping street? And so why this? And then I thought, yeah, because he's qualified. You know, Krishna is giving him intelligence. He's pure enough, and he is showing him, go there, you know, do this. In this way, you can do big because you're qualified. So I think that's very nice. So Krishna is also appearing in this way. You know, actually, he's constantly there, but we have to be qualified, become pure enough to hear him, to really hear him. He's really speaking to us. He can really speak to us. And so Prabhupada, when he talked about this topic, there was the interviewer. He was very curious about this. He wanted to know from Prabhupada, you as the leader, how do you say that this person and this person has to become the temple president of this person? Is it you or is it Krishna who is saying this? Mm-hmm. And Prabhupada says, no, it's Krishna. And then he wanted to know, how do you mean it's Krishna? Does Krishna speak to you? And something like that. And Prabhupada says, yes, Krishna speaks to me. And then a devotee, a sannyasi devotee of Prabhupada, was sitting also there, and he wanted to explain. No, it is meant like this, that Krishna is giving us the intelligence. So Krishna is also the intelligence. In this way we can understand with the intelligence which person is qualified, and then we tell him he should be. And Prabhupada was interrupting immediately. So no, Krishna is speaking. He says this one and this one. But the difference is I can hear, you cannot hear. So we have to become really pure enough, and Krishna speaks, and Krishna shows us, go there, do this, make this plan, go there, in this way you can do big. If you are not so pure, then you may have to suffer until you become pure enough, and then you become qualified, and Krishna uses you as an instrument, and you can experience how Krishna appears in your spiritual life.
One thing which is very nice and important is the eagerness to be able of service, like, because we need to realize what is the use of our lives if we're just living like animals, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. As the grihastha becomes more complex, but still the same thing. And but what's the use of our life if we're actually not really using it for Krishna, or Krishna is not working through us? We cannot be of any use. And if we have this feeling, please Krishna, use me in some way, make me useful, I want to contribute something for your pleasure, whatever little it might be, please use me. You have this intense eagerness that Krishna should use you, and it's not that you want to do something big and you're passionate and you're just pushing, then things can happen and Krishna can speak through you. So this is when the magic happens. The magic happens when you actually really go deep and let go of the control, but you actually say, Krishna, I'm your humble servant. Because we realize we're not qualified, we don't have so much. What do we have? We don't have anything. The only qualification we have is that we know that we have Krishna, and that we can surrender to him, that we have Prabhupada, the association of devotees, and that's a very nice thing. We are like a family, we're coming together, we're worshipping the Lord, and that's something very nice, it's protecting us. If we're keeping this very intense, this grit of our friendship, of our service together, it can really bring us closer to Krishna, because we'll have a net, a security net to catch us, and so that we can surrender completely to Krishna without any reservations. Because mainly we are usually anxious about something that we're holding back, like, oh, maybe I won't feel so secure, or I want to achieve this, and just don't let go. So, but if you let go of everything and you start listening to Krishna, also just in the japa, you're thinking you must think of this and that, you're not letting go. But if you're really letting go and listening to Krishna and being there for Krishna's service, you're really experiencing Krishna. It becomes so powerful, Krishna's really there. So, two things I wanted to say more, but where I experienced Krishna. One was when I see it in the life of great saintly persons, and we saw my spiritual master pass, and it was so amazing because he had his life completely dedicated to Krishna and Prabhupada. He really gave up everything else, any other ambitions. He could have done so many things, like some of us were trying to set up something, some material comfort, but really gave up. Like he was due to inherit a big company, he just gave it all up. And he said, Prabhupada, I'm yours. And then he did the service. They asked him to do the samadhi, building the samadhi of Srila Prabhupada in Vrindavan. And actually he didn't like to do this managing style. He just wanted to do some service, normal service, but they pressured him, please do it. And I said, okay, I do it as a service. And then he did it, and then they asked him, okay, you're doing so well, please also come to Mayapur, do it also here. Like, oh my God, And then he said, like, he thought that his father would laugh at him because he actually tried to escape from any responsibility or any management, but in the end he still sat in the office and was managing people all around. So he couldn't escape it. So, and he really had everything, and then he went to Mayapur, and it was very, very, very tough. It's like he himself went to the desert to gather the marble, and then you go to the desert, it's a big quarry, one of the biggest ones in the world, where they're quarrying marble, and it's in the Rajasthani desert. It's extremely hot, it's like over 50 degrees plus, and he with his wife, I think they went there to bargain with the people and to get the marble. It's really physically taxing. And then they went back all the way, brought the marble back to the samadhi place, to the construction site, and everybody was so finished they didn't want to help, so he and his wife himself, they unloaded the truck So he really did so much, and then he took sannyas. He could have stayed in a comfortable grihastha life, but he took sannyas and then started to preach and do so much. And then he went to Vrindavan, and he was really ready to say, Krishna, I'm here, I want to pass away. But all his disciples were still like, no, we want some mercy, like please give us something. So he was still there for 1 year. And when he went, almost 1 year, half a year actually, he went in September, around this time, Radhastami last year, he actually went to Vrindavan. And then for half a year, he was there, and still we knew, all of us knew, okay, could happen any week, any moment. And we were there and listening to him and listening his katha, and it was just nice to see like your spiritual master, your idol, somebody who we really value and see as advanced devotee, to be so dedicated and really let go of everything else, any control over this and that, and just focus on Krishna and talk about Krishna. And then he had Krishna gave him a very nice life. The end of his was not suffering like for half a year or 2 years. It was quite good. And only 3 weeks before he passed away, it's like, okay, now it's starting. I'm starting to leave. And really within 3 weeks, his body deteriorated. Before he was still making kirtans, giving lectures. You can see on YouTube, all this was like amazing. And then I was so amazed that Krishna just like from one moment to the other, okay, now you're ready to go. And then we were there, we were chanting, and then it was so auspicious, so many devotees were there, and this is a sign that we can see Krishna is taking care of his devotees. If we give our whole life, we were all chanting there, and we were all praying, chanting, praying, please Krishna, accept your beloved servant. And it was such a magical moment, and he actually was lying on one side, and he turned around, and the last thing, he took a big breath and saw Giriraj and breathed out, and then he was gone. So his deity for the last time, and he was back. It was so beautiful. I went into the room, and it was like, usually you think like everybody would be crying, your beloved spiritual master has left. But you went to the room, and it was so nice. It was such a clean atmosphere. Like, when you clean a room afterwards, you feel like it's very clean and very pure. There's lots of light. So even though physically it was a little dark, everybody felt enlivened. It was so nice, and not many were crying. It was just like, it's too good to be crying. So I could see that Krishna probably came personally, or sent Prabhupada to take him to his service. And so I could see that we don't need to hold back anything in our lives. Why should we hold back? It's only making us, any selfishness is making us deprived actually of the real value of life to serve Krishna, to engage somehow or other in his service. So that was amazing. So then I saw like, how can we see Krishna? We cannot see Krishna in our lives if we are not grateful. If we are grateful and we are proud, we say like, yes, this is due to me. Of course I should get this worship. Of course I should distribute books. No, you must be grateful. You are standing here and you're distributing books. It could be very easily other way around, that you are there drinking and being completely drugged out, and you know nothing about Krishna. But just somehow or other you got this little mercy. You have no qualification. Only a little chance, and we should really be really grateful that we have Krishna. It can be very easy that we are on the lower position, and we can have not Krishna, and can go very quick. So if we have this gratitude, we can see that, oh Krishna, thank you so much, thank you that I can chant, thank you that I can be in the association of the devotees, I can accept prasadam, and if we have this gratefulness, we are able to receive. We are able to receive, and this is not something that everybody can do, because we usually like to give, and there we feel good. But we make ourselves vulnerable if we are humble, and if we are able to receive. Like, thank you, Krishna. Thank you, Vaishnavas, and the Vaishnavas are giving so much blessings and so much well-wishingness, and this is really touching all our hearts. Yes, Kripa, you want to say something to it? Else I will start with one point I have, and we wanted to see Krishna's pastimes. So we will start with, I will go to the blackboard and then make an overview of Krishna's pastimes as described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, are you ready? Yeah. Hare Krishna. So it's going to be interactive, so I need your feedback. You will need to raise your hands and tell me. Na, wir können es aufklappen, das wird ganz toll.
Das wird man nicht sehen auf dem Livestream.
Ha?
Das ist schwierig zu sehen auf dem Livestream.
Ja, das ist nicht so schlimm. Kannst du drauf halten. So, first, Krishna appeared and so 1 till 3 years he appeared. And where did he appear? Which place? Yeah, huh? Charu? Yeah, he appeared in Mathura, but where did he go then? Yeah? No, not exactly. Be more precise. Subal Gopal? Gokula, yeah? Sehr gut, Gokula. He went to Gokula. So he went to Gokula. And in this age he had certain pastimes. The first demons which he killed. So who knows, what are the first demons that Krishna killed? Yeah, Babaji? Putana, yeah. Actually, I'm left-handed, so I'm trying. Looks good, huh? Putana, what else? Yeah, the car demon. What's his name? Shakatasura. I just write car demon. I just write card. Card, like demon. Okay, then who else do we have? Yeah, wait. Trinavarta, yeah. Trinavarta, yeah. So, and then he also did, he showed Mother Yashoda something. What did he show? Yes, in the universe. He was not eating dirt, but she was taking care of him. And somebody knows more the details? Kripa, Sindhu, you know?
Balaram told...
It was not about the dirt, it was before dirt. It was a separate pastime, yeah.
It was because of the milk.
Yeah, she was feeding her. It was 2 times actually that Mother Yashoda saw the universal form, in the mouth of the universe and the mouth of Krishna. And the first one was there in Gokul, and she looked at Krishna. I think she was feeding him or something, and then she saw and looked into Krishna's mouth, and she saw the whole universe. And then shortly after, Trinavarta came. So that's the right sequence. And then we have the which Leela? Damodar, yeah. Damodar Leela. So those are universe. I just write universe here. And then Damodar. So Kripa Sindhu, can you say something about the Damodar Leela?
Something about Damodar Leela.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot to say. There's a whole book about this. But what do you... Especially, give me a hint. Give me a word. Something.
Why? How could Mother Yashoda bind the Supreme Personality of Godhead with a rope?
Why could she do that?
Yeah.
Because she tried and tried and tried and tried and never gave up. Yeah, and this is also should our motto be in spiritual life: never give up. Because she tried to bind him, and it was too short. And then again, she took more ropes, and it was too short. And she took more ropes, and it was too short. And all the gopis became so astonished by it, they all also wanted to take part in the rope miracle of Krishna. And therefore they all brought ropes. All the ropes from the whole village they brought, and every time it was too short. And after trying so many times, Mother Yashoda said, okay, then let it be. Yeah, but out of a habit, she did a last time the hand moving of binding. You're doing something for many times and long time, and you're mentally you don't do it anymore, but physically it continues because you did it for so long time. So in this way, she did it a last time, and that was the time when she could bind Krishna, when Krishna allowed it. So she bound him actually with love. And only it was the love that when Krishna allowed to be bound by her. And then all the ropes appeared. And Krishna was sitting on a carpet of ropes. and all the ropes of the whole the palace. Krishna is living in a palace. They even have 2 kitchens. In one kitchen, Mother Yashoda is cooking for Nanda Maharaj and his Vaishya friends. Sometimes they're coming for eating, and in other kitchen she's cooking for Krishna. So they brought all the ropes of the whole palace, and all the gopis, the gopi friends brought all the ropes from the whole village, and Krishna was sitting then on the carpet of ropes, and that one rope that bound him was actually the rope that was in the hair of Mother Yashoda. That was the rope. That is how it is stated in this book from the Damodar Lila.
Wow. So the Damodar pastime is one of the central ones, and soon we're going to have the month of Damodar, where God Kartik, yes, we're going to have here Damodar on the altar, and then we're going to serve the lights. That's going to be very, very nice. It's a very auspicious month where actually any devotional service is very much accumulated and counts 1,000 minds more than usual. So this is a month where you can get lots of blessings. So also we have then afterwards, Gokula, they went to somewhere else. And why did they leave? Who knows? Why did they leave Gokula?
It was dangerous.
It was dangerous, yes. Because after the Trinavarta demon, they consulted, they had the Ishtagoshti. All the leaders, Nanda Maharaj and his brothers, they assembled and said like, that's too dangerous. So many demons coming, it must be a cursed place. No, it's not good. Let's go better somewhere else. So they went then to Vrindavan. So the interesting thing that I heard though is that actually they went to Vrindavan, but Nandagram actually was the place where Krishna went. Because Krishna never lived directly in Vrindavan, but Nandagram. And those who have been to India, they know that Nandagram is actually quite far away from Vrindavan, what we know now. So actually went to Nandagram.
And now you cross Vrindavan out.
Huh?
Now you must make Vrindavan with it.
So when it went to Vrindavan, and it was funny if you see in Vrindavan, when they moved to Vrindavan, they moved the whole cart. So it was funny, they took everything together and they put on carts, and it's described how Krishna and Balaram, they're sitting on a cart and having fun because it's so nice, we're going on a journey, you know. And they were sitting there, and then I think it's described some of the elders, they were falling asleep while driving, but they recamped. So we can see that their houses, or there must have been not such heavy structures, because you cannot just move your big house, you know. So I thought that's an interesting fact, that they were described kind of like nomads. They were just setting up a campfire and then had a good time. So it was a very nice experience for Krishna to move to Nandagram actually. And Vrindavan, then from 3 to 6 years, what kind of demons did he kill? Kaliya comes later. He killed here 3 to 6 it's described. He killed Bakasura. Yeah, Agasura. More?
Oh no, he didn't kill him.
Agasura. And Vatsasura. And
When is Arishtasura coming?
Arishtasura is coming afterwards. Now this is 3 from 6, and then 6 till 10 we have many others who came, and this is there's the Brahma Vimohana Lila, where Krishna took all the boys, no?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, took all the boys. So the Brahma Lila is happening here when he's 6 years old. How old is Murari?
He's gonna become 6.
6, so it's actually around this age.
And like soon 6.
Soon 6, yeah. So you can see in this age already Krishna killed Dhenukasura. This ass demons, you remember? That's Balaram.
Balaram killed him.
Yeah, together. There were many. They said there were many asses, and then the main one, Balaram, threw on their branches, and but the other ones, they said by just turning them very, very fast, they lost their life, because they were turning them so fast, and then and then there's also Kaliya Lila, when he was 6 till 10. Yeah, Kaliya. Brahma. Kali. So, what else do we have? Pralamba Sura. Okay, there's so many here. I think this must be all the Vrindavan Leelas were all in this age, 6 till 10. I will see just here what is written here. He saved the cows from the forest fire. Then he also lifted Govardhan hill. He was around 7 years.
What about Vatsasura?
Govardhan. Must be in this age. It's not described here, but must be in this age. Because afterwards he went to Mathura. 3 to 6. Here's Vatsasura, yeah. Vatsasura. And then Arishtasura also. So in chronological order, it's described that first Brahma Vimohana Lila, then he killed Dhenukasura, then he went for Kaliya. Kaliya was chased away, and then Krishna stole, after Kaliya, Krishna stole the clothes of the gopi.
Yes.
Yeah, so he went, you know this leader, he took away all the clothes.
I made him on a cow.
Yeah, he put him on the cows, yeah? Oh, this I didn't know. And then he lifted Govardhan hill, and then Lord Indra and Surabhi asked for forgiveness. Then we have Rasa Leela, and then we have Arishtasura, Keshi, and then comes the not nice part, Akrura comes. And Akrura takes him to Mathura. This is part of, yes. This. But this is, Radhakund and Shyamakund appearance is not described, I think, in the Bhagavatam itself. It's only the Leelas described in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam. It's around 10th canto. Yeah. So we're focusing on the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And then it's described, we have from 8 to 28, we are going to Mathura, yes. And in Mathura, what did he do first when he came? Not before he came. Before he killed Kamsa. He came in and what did he do?
He killed Kuvalayapida.
The washerman, yeah, he killed the washerman and Kuvalayapida, the elephant. And the tailor, yeah, the washerman, tailor, yeah. And Kupsha, also this lady, she means beautiful, hunchbacked lady. And it's actually it's an interesting story because the love of Kupsha is always being set in comparison to the love of the gopis, because the love of Kupsha was more, let's put it, not as pure as the love of the gopis, because the gopis just wanted to have Krishna's happiness, but Kupsha actually was desiring Krishna, and it's actually described later that Krishna fulfilled her desire much later on, not at the beginning Mathura, but in Dwarka. She visited her personally. So it's a whole very interesting story to see the comparison of the pure love of Kupsha and the gopis, but the gopis had a much more intense and grieving. They were really grieving for Krishna. They couldn't wait anymore to be with Krishna. So here we went to, we are killing Kamsa. And then we go, what do we do after killing Kamsa? Huh? Yes, Gurukul, Sandipani Muni. So that's all we have in Krishna's Maranam, so we have a nice overview of the whole Leela, yeah? Sandipani Muni. You know the place where he went?
Ujjain.
Yes. He went to Ujjain. And Ujjain is the place also where His Holiness Bhakti Sharu Maharaj has a big, very nice big temple. I've never been there, but I heard. It should be very, very nice. Huh? Narsimha is also. You have been there?
I've not been.
You heard, yeah. It's very beautiful. You have been, yeah? Nice. So then we afterwards we go the Guru Dakshina. He gets the sons of Sandipani Muni from Yamaraj, and then Shri Krishna as his friend. This is interesting. So then already, no, this is already, yeah. Now Uddhava comes. And Uddhava goes to Vrindavan already here. according to the Bhagavatam. So, so Shri Krishna asked his dear friend Uddhava to go to Vrindavan and console Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, and the gopis who might be in distress due to the separation of Lord Krishna. So that's like very early on. He was already worried, you know. It's like, oh, after going to school, let's go. Uddhava, please go, you know. So that's very nice. And then Krishna defeats Jarasandha. Am I right? Does he defeat Jarasandha or what happens?
No, he comes. He lets him go, and he comes back again. He lets him.
So cruel, huh?
Again,
I thought, why
70
didn't he kill him? Someone was not supposed to be, but actually he brought more and more armies, so it was good. Like Krishna didn't need to go anywhere to kill all the demons and rascals, and the armies, like we heard in the verse of the Bhagavatam today. He didn't need to go anywhere, but actually Jarasandha brought all these armies and demons in front of his door, and Krishna just wiped them out, and then next one. So that actually was very practical. But at one point, it happened that with Jarasandha, the second person comes, and what is his name? I forgot his name. Kalyavana, yeah. Kalyavana, because he had Kalyavana. He had the blessing that he could push back the Yadu dynasty and defeat them. So to fulfill the promise, Krishna just left his rancho, the battlefield, and he was being followed by Kalyavana. And then we have Muchukunda. We have the Muchukunda, and then he goes to the cave of Muchukunda, and Muchukunda back, and then Kalyavana kicks him. You sleeping coward boy, you know. You're hiding. Who are you? You're not a Kshatriya. And he kicks him, and then and he Muchukunda wakes up and burns Kalyavana alive. Yeah, but after Krishna, while doing all this, he realized that it's actually a little problematic, the city of Mathura, because it's being all the time attacked. It's not strategically perfect. So what did he do, Charu? Okay.
He built Dwaraka.
Haribol! So by mystical powers, he took little time to divert Kalyavana, and in the meantime, he brought everybody to Dwaraka. And anyway, Dwarka is such an amazing city. We see here in so many different cultures of the lost city. Even South America, we have the Paititi. We have the, or also we have, actually there's another name in South America. But we have here Atlantis, and then here it's Dwarka. And many other cultures talk about this lost city. So it was known that it was an amazing city. And if you hear about the descriptions of how many people and how many palaces were there, it's actually a very, very huge number. It goes into the billions. And that means like almost a part of the whole world population was on this island, Dwarka, which of course was maybe, either we could say in terms of spiritual, with this, the sphere where Krishna is, Dwarka, is beyond the material realm of time and space. So many can fit in a small space. Or also could be that many people actually fit in a small space. If actually put a whole world population together in one space, everybody having 1 square meter, you only have 81 kilometers times 81 kilometers, and the whole world can fit in there. It's not so big, huh? So then, so we go to Dwarka, and then in Dwarka we have all these long demons. First of all, he kidnaps. The first thing he does is Rukmini. He gets all the queens. He wants to get opulent now. He's like royal. He has a big palace, so he needs a queen. So then he gets Rukmini. And then, actually it's the other way around. Actually, Rukmini asks Krishna to get her. Like, please take me. And then he kidnaps her. And then Pradyumna is born. Then we visit Indrapasta. And then the Pandraka we heard about. And then the other leaders, the 16,000 wives. And then in the end, he actually closes his pastimes. And it said that when he spoke Bhagavad Gita, he was around 100 years old, was close to the end of his Leela. So that was around this time. And in certain Krishna Leelas, Kurukshetra here. In certain pastimes, also the Goswamis, Jiva Goswami in his Gopal Champu, he describes that there is there is a part where Krishna goes back to the inhabitants of Vrindavan, and then all together they go back to Goloka Vrindavan. So that's actually a very nice part of the ending. Because there's some folklore that say different, but this is according to the scripture of the Arya Goswamis that we have, that Krishna actually went back in the end to Vrindavan together, and then they were all happily united. Shri Krishna Janmashtami ki jai! You have more questions, comments? Yeah, true. He also never left Vrindavan in uppercut form. So, there's actually, if you also look at the Bhagavatam, I made a whole another overview of Krishna's pastimes, because we see that when Krishna disappeared, it said, the Bhagavatam says a very nice verse that we can hear. It says, Krishnesvadam upagate dharma genadipi saha kalau mata drisham esha punarnako dunoditaha. This Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion and knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. So actually in the age of Kali, we don't see Krishna as easily as we used to see in other ages. We have the deity, but of course it's different. So, but what we see, how we can see Krishna is through the Bhagavatam. He has come to distribute the light of Krishna. And if we see the whole overview of the Bhagavatam, the first canto talks a little bit about Krishna. First we hear about Ashwatthama punishing, being punished. And then we hear about the praise of Queen Kunti. Then we hear the praise of Bhishma towards Krishna. He's lying in the deathbed and he's listening to so Bhishma is speaking, and also Bhishma wants to see Krishna. And then we have Krishna departs for Dwarka, and then we have also where when he departs, the Uttara, the whole event happens. Uttara is being attacked by the Brahmastra, and he's being protected, and Pariksha sees Krishna in the womb. And then Krishna enters Dwarka. There's this very nice description how Krishna enters Dwarka, and everybody's welcoming them. And then we hear how Arjuna is very terrified, comes back to Hastinapur because Krishna has left the planet. So it's actually the dramatic beginning of the first canto of the Bhagavatam. We hear like, wow, Krishna is so amazing. And we don't hear about the Vrindavan pastimes yet. So actually only later we hear about the pastimes of Vrindavan. Only in the third canto we hear a little bit about how Uddhava remembers Krishna. So in the first canto we have more the Aishwarya perspective of Krishna, where he's being prayed to by Kunti, the great saint. Also Bhishma, the great warrior, is praying towards Krishna. And then he enters Dwarka, so he's being shown in a very amazing way. And then in the third canto, he's being shown as Uddhava remembers Krishna. So there are a few pastimes which are stated also in Mathura, also a little more the Aishwarya aspect. And only then the fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh canto, they're building up shortly towards Krishna Lila. And then the ninth canto is kind of making the whole genealogy of all the Kshatriyas, who was born from whom, the different dynasties. And they come in the end to the Moon dynasty, and they come to Krishna. And then the 10th canto is all about Krishna. And it's amazing, if you see all the other cantos, they have around 25 verses. But the 10th canto has 90 verses. So it's like 25 chapters, but all the 10th canto has 90 chapters. And usually you see that's like 3 times more, now almost 4 times more average, almost 4 times more the other cantos. And it's very nice verses describing Krishna's pastimes. And then we go on to the 11th canto, because we usually will read till Prabhupada translated it, but the 11th canto is where the Yadus are being cursed, and then we see, and then Krishna retreats, and then Uddhava asks Krishna the last questions. That's actually very nice, very exciting. I really like the 11th canto, also the purpose by His Holiness Hridayananda Das Goswami. He's having amazing purpose there, and also this talk is several chapters. It's actually chapter 7 to 30. Krishna speaks to Uddhava. The Uddhava, part of it is the Uddhava Gita, which is very, very beautiful. It's like very powerful, very nice. And then we have the 12th canto. We hear all about the deterioration of Kali, and how Kali is coming and destroying everything. So this is the view of the Bhagavatam. So I give you a little glimpse of how Krishna is being shown in the whole Bhagavatam. And it's very nice if you can see the Bhagavatam and read the verses itself. It's powerful. And Prabhupada gave us the Krishna book. And some temples they do Krishna book reading the whole day, loud, to try to finish it. It's a lot. But it's actually very beautiful. If you have any chance, any free moment, take the Krishna book, look into it. It's very nice. And actually it was, Prabhupada was funny because everybody was falling asleep when Prabhupada, they were in New Vrindavan for the first Janmashtami. Everybody was falling asleep. They were reading from 9 o'clock. Just reading, no commenting, just reading Krishna book. Everybody was falling asleep, and then Prabhupada was like, even the sannyasis, you could see the dandas were like, everybody was falling asleep, and Prabhupada was the only one awake. He was not himself reading, but he was so awake. So you could see he had so much taste for the holy name and for Krishna Katha that he was like, yeah, I want to hear more. Even though you could think it's his books that he wrote, but he himself said, no, this is Krishna dictated me these books. So these books are very powerful, and they have spiritual potency. Like also sometimes we distribute books, and then persons come to us and it's like, I remember I gave to one lady, pretty young lady, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. It's a very difficult philosophical book. And I asked her, did you understand anything? She's like, no, but I just like reading it. I feel so good. So people just feel it's spiritual energy. It feels good, and it's very nice. So the more we hear about Krishna and remember him, the more we become elevated in this lifetimes. So take the opportunity. Shri Krishna Janmashtami ki jai. Gour Premanande. Sanjay, one last question.
Can I ask?
Yes. Kripa Sindhu can ask.
Okay. Why did, or how does it work that Prabhupada he called those Radha Krishna deities in I think New Delhi? He called them Radha Partha Sarati. So how can that be explained?
Can somebody repeat the question?
Okay, the question is how could Prabhupada call the deities in Delhi Radha Partha Sarati? So it's actually described as was a big press conference also then afterwards, and then the reporters asked why Radha Partha Sarati? Partha Sarati, for those who don't know, means he who is the chariot driver of Arjuna. Because Krishna was so humble that he took the position to be just a chariot driver of Arjuna. He was driving the battlefield. And now you give the name of Radha Partha Sarati? I thought Radharani is in Vrindavan. He's not on the chariot in Kurukshetra. But Prabhupada describes that who says that Radharani ever left Krishna, or who says that Krishna ever left Vrindavan? It's just different pastimes which are in different spheres, but actually Krishna is never separate from Radharani. He's never separate from his internal energy. So Prabhupada says there, it's like, I'm always, Krishna is always with Radharani. Okay? Vrindavan Krishna stays in Vrindavan, and Radharani always stays with Vrindavan Krishna. But Krishna is not physically that he's only staying in Vrindavan, but Vrindavan is also not a physical space. On wherever Krishna is, there is Vrindavan. It's like Modaman Shri Vrindavan Dham. Sri Chaitanya Prabhu said, my mind is Vrindavan, because he's all the time thinking about Vrindavan. So Vrindavan is really we can manifest Vrindavan in our hearts now, especially during Janmashtami, we're trying to manifest. We're talking about Krishna, we're having kirtan, we're remembering, we're going to have Abhishek in already 1.5 hours almost, in my mother's place, and then we're going to have in the afternoon more katha and more kirtan. So it's like we're bringing Vrindavan here. So if our mind is full with Krishna, then we have actually Vrindavan in our mind. And also physically seen, also spiritually seen, what's the substance of matter? Matter actually consists of many small atoms. And the atoms, what is in there? There is just a little mass particle, and this mass particle is actually that one which gives, you say, physically substance to anything. But if you see what is the actual mass behind, what does it consist of, even the physicists don't know what it actually is. So what we say, we know that Krishna is the substance of everything, and the substance giver of everything is Krishna. And the matter is only something that is your view of it. Actually, this whole creation it's an existence, but we view it for our own sense gratification. If we view it in the service of Krishna, it becomes completely spiritualized, and a person who has real eyes can see Krishna anywhere and everywhere, because we say Krishna is beyond time and space, so it means he's not limited to Vrindavan there in India, but he's everywhere. So if we chant the holy names of the Lord, Krishna is directly present. He's dancing on our tongue. If we remember Krishna, he's directly there. And he's manifesting Vrindavan. And wherever Krishna is, there's the whole associates, Vrindavan, the cowherd, everything, Govardhan, everything is there. It just depends on your view. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam.
Jai.
Jai.
Just one thing I would like to add, because of your nice explanation of the Bhagavatam and the kind of the structure of the Bhagavatam, the 10th canto and Krishna's pastime. It's interesting that we have the 9 cantos before, then we have the 10th canto, and then we have 2 cantos left, 11 and 12. And the 11th canto, as you said, and is also very big, 11th canto. And if you look at it from this point of view, the 10th canto, Krishna's pastime, is like actually in the middle of the whole Bhagavatam. Although we have 12 cantos, and Krishna's pastime is in the 10th, but still it is like in the middle of the Bhagavatam. And if you compare it with the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, Prabhupada explains that we divide it into 3 parts. The first 6 chapters, the middle 6 chapters, and the last 6 chapters. And the middle 6 chapters are the most confidential, and they are kind of protected by the first 6 chapters and the last 6 chapters. And similar in the Bhagavatam, you have Krishna's pastimes, 10th canto, it's like the middle, and it's like the most confidential.
Yeah, it's protected in the end with the instructions from Krishna to Uddhava, saying like, it's amazing if you read the book and really go into it, really long purpose, but once you go into the purpose, they're really nice, you can really cherish them. So I can recommend. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, go Premanandi.
Haribo, Krishna Janmashtami ki jai, go Premanandi.
Kripa Sindhu Prabhu, go Mohan Prabhu ki jai. Gour, Prabhu ki jai.
Namo Namaha.